Everyone, it's Fiktxun Crypto back at it again with another video. And today we're going to be doing a different type of video. Now, this video concept came about a Twitter post that I made about decentralization. You know, me personally, I don't believe um, in decentralization. I really don't want to believe in decentralization, but I do know decentralization or decentralized protocols are what we're going to be using to have as an infrastructure to this financial system that's been created. So first, before we get into this video, give us a follow on Twitter at Fiktxun Crypto. We are doing a giveaway in 50 followers. We started our giveaway yesterday, actually, when we hit 1,100 followers, and it's been going kind of crazy. We already got 86 retweets, 90 likes on this one. I'm giving away XRP to people who tag me up on a specific BitTrue post. And this is our other giveaway right here. We're going to have 10 winners, 50 editions. NFT Editions is a publishing company on the XRP ledger. We are giving away some of their crypto. This is a really cool project. So before we get into all of this stuff, let's go to the post that I made about decentralization and how this concept came up. So I said, I'll be the first to say it. My project will be on a decentralized protocol, but my project itself can't be decentralized. Sadly, companies are lying to you when they say they are decentralized. And then I had a dear friend in the XRP community, James Ray XRP. Shout out to James Ray XRP in the Schmeckles group. Check out his project as well, because he's doing a community-based project, has some really nice artwork, like a Rick and Morty type thing. And he is really when I say like a real type of person, is a person that's big on like mental health. So a therapist, almost like he is, I would consider him like a therapist. But let's stay on topic right here. He says, this is very, very interesting, and I would love to learn more. Would you consider an educational video on this? And I said, yeah, definitely. I only say that because technically there is no definition for decentralization legally the government has decided on. It's nothing wrong with private or centralized entities. What's wrong with those entities is their business models and how far they'll go to, like, you know, screw us over out of our money, out of our information, our data, and all of that type of stuff. So I don't think it's the necessarily if it's on a decentralized or centralized protocol that makes it bad or vulnerable. I think it's the people who run those systems. So, you know, out of nowhere, this dude comes in, comments up under this. I had to follow him because it was so funny. He says, William Hinman said Ethereum was not a security, or was a security, but has since become sufficiently decentralized. And he says, what does decentralized look like? Why hasn't the community achieved consensus on what qualifies as decentralized? And if you click on his page, it says, seeking answers from Web3 leaders and developers on what it technically means to be sufficiently decentralized. And I mean, shout out to you, dude. Truth or nothing, this is hilarious. I mean, couldn't come at a better time up under these posts. But what I mean by this post is, let's look at the actual definition of decentralization. So this is why I say, I mean, I don't believe in the concept because I know what decentralization is, but I think it's something where everybody thought it was going against the government. And as we see right here, decentralization is transferring the power and responsibility to get better results. Delegation about authority in the organization in its small departments done at this time. So let's look at a decentralized model of a blockchain and how these blockchains are going to work. So to be honest, none of this, well, it is decentralized, but not in the way that we have been thinking. You know, all these networks going to have to connect to something to communicate with each other. And that's why they have these satellites and nodes, you know what I'm saying? So if we don't have these satellites and nodes in space or all around the world, up under the ground, these networks can't communicate with each other. So, you know, the decentralization definition that we have been accustomed to was just simply peer-to-peer payments. And I've been telling everybody, peer-to-peer payments does not mean that what you're doing is decentralized. So what people would assume decentralized is, again, another version of decentralization was if I paid you some money and you receive that money and nobody's seen that transaction because nobody around. Initially, what I thought it had to be a person in real life transferring money to another person in real life in an environment where nobody is watching. But if you honestly break down that transaction, technically, so first, none of those people own that environment. Someone else does, unless they own that environment. So let's put ourselves in this perspective. None of us own the XRP ledger. We only own obligations on the XRP ledger. No one actually that I know of owns the ledger because it's an open source protocol for everyone to build on. So let's go back to the first example about the people and breaking it down. Secondly, we're using a means of currency or a note of some sort. XRP is not a note yet, but in real life, we're using a note, which is a Federal Reserve note, as the dollar. That isn't our currency that we created ourselves. So it can't be decentralized. I didn't create that currency, so I'm obligated to follow the rules and regulations that this currency note abides by. That's the second thing. So we got you're not been in your own environment, because decentralization is supposed to be peer-to-peer. Nobody sees anything, and you're in your own environment. Everything is all yours. So that defeats the decentralization purpose right there. Secondly, we're not even using a currency that we created. So you're obligated to follow the rules and regulations of the currency creators, laws and stuff, whoever created that currency. Third, in that transaction, somebody loses money and somebody gains money. And it's going to be always three parties because you're using another person's currency, as in the government, so even in that, the government loses and wins money trades, even when we trade money, because at the end of the day, it's going to go back to their legacy systems. Just like how we cash out crypto, it goes right back into their systems, guys. We can't cash out crypto without going back into these centralized systems. And if you see right here, we'll get into a video breaking down Hyperledger and Interledger and everything like that. I really don't think these really have anything to do with Interledger, more so with decentralization. I really don't think a lot of these things have anything to do with what we've been accustomed to decentralization, the definition of decentralization. So as we go back over this definition, transferring the power and responsibility to get better results. What is happening right now with Ripple and XRP and all of these old legacy systems, they are like Swift, they are transferring the power to a decentralized system, boom, 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 decentralized, where all of these people give up their old power, Swift, to, and all of their old responsibility, because the ledger is obligated to fulfill these obligations. That's why they call these things obligations and not cryptocurrencies on the XRP ledger. Then you have delegation about authority. These decentralization and protocols is the new government. We can no longer trust the American word. You can't trust my word. How do you know what I'm telling you is true? You have to look up everything on your own and come up with your own thinking. And that's why we have this new trustless system where nobody has to trust anyone but the system. So we all know this ledger technology with Hyperledger and Interledger works. It's been around before crypto, you know, and all of these things that we are just accustomed to seeing over the last couple of years. Myself, I've only been in crypto for about 2 years, you know, and I do a lot of deep diving into these things because it's very interesting to see how the infrastructure works when it comes to payments, banking, and just money. I like money. Like, I think money is my favorite thing. So, you know, people would say that's bad or whatever, but I mean, money makes the world go round. And if you don't know about money, you're kind of going to be broke, to be honest. So we see this right here. This is what a true decentralized system looks like. Basically, only decentralization means we're literally giving up our power, you know. So, I mean, I'm going to cut this video short. I don't want to talk too long. That's just my theory of decentralization. And what I mean by, you know, I will be on a decentralized protocol when I launch a project. Being the XRP Ledger is a decentralized protocol, but there's no possible way I can use the ledger and be able to run a business and it not have some type of authority, which would be me or anyone else that I bring into that network controlling certain things of the business. So, I mean, I just don't get the concept of decentralization. It's too much, it's too many like contradictions on why it's not decentralized to me. So, you know, that's just my take, everybody, on decentralization. I hope this was a pretty cool video for everybody. This is not like a super deep dive in, being super technical. I've only been in this space for a couple of years, and this is just my theory. So you all let me know what you think decentralization is, and do you honestly believe in it? And give this dude a shout out. Let's see what he digs up in trying to find out what technically it means to be sufficiently decentralized. So it's Fiktxun Crypto, you all. You all have a nice day. Peace.